I think paedophilia is very odd and unusual, and we still don't really know too much about it, partly because, coming back to the point we were raising earlier, we simply don't know what the denominator is. We don't know what the denominator is of people who have paedophilic fantasies. We know they're largely men. That's about as much as we do know. The women who have fantasies about sex with children are a very small number. They do exist, but they're a small number. So we know that they're largely men, but we simply have no idea how many men out there have fantasies of having sexual relationships with children. And are they really about having sexual relationships with children, or are they about controlling children and doing violence to them? Do you see what I mean? And are these fantasies about being able to get a child and do whatever you want to them? And we're back with the issue of control. How much of control? How much is the issue of control? Control around vulnerability. How much is that a discourse of a type of carnal interest? But we do not know what the denominator is. And the reason I'm emphasizing that is the numerator, of course, is the number of men that we do identify. And, we punish them very seriously, and all of that. And we punish people. And the really interesting question is what we're going to do about people who've never touched a child, but have pictures, have generating pictures using CGI, making up. What will you do with people who've got horrendous images in which not a single child has been touched? I mean, of course, for the people where we've got obscene or degrading pornography, which we know has involved child abuse, that's easy in a way. We know what to do with them about that, although the CEOPS people will tell you it's a vast problem and they don't have the resources to deal with it. But I'm concerned about the other group of people where not a single child, actual physical child, has been touched. But nevertheless, a whole narrative and story about child abuse is being generated and looked at and ruminated on and obsessed on. But we still don't know what takes a man from fantasizing to action. We really don't. I mean, we know some of the things that, alcohol, violence, the general tendency for violence. But there are a lot of sex offenders, particularly offenders against children, who have no other criminal records and who are not violent in any other way. And of course, some of these terrible stories of child abuse, they start as befriending a child, and a child then finds that they have to pay a very heavy price for the friendship to continue. And as we know, many children decide it's better to pay the price than to lose the friend. And we're back with coercion and control. And it's a very long answer to a very complicated question, actually. It would be a whole... And I only say this too because in Germany there's been a very interesting treatment program for what's called the dark field, Duncan field offenders, people who've never been caught, inviting people who've never been caught to come forward and have treatment.